Hello, in this short video I'm going to be using Affinity Designer to create the seed of life as a template that you can then use for analysing icons. So here we are with Affinity Designer opened. I've got an A4 document, create whatever size you like. First thing first, let's make sure that snapping is on. This is really quite important for this exercise. So if you go to your top bar here, and I've got snapping is already on, it's that little horseshoe shape or magnet shape there on the right hand side at the top. So make sure that's selected. Then go across to your tools on your far left hand side and make sure that you've got your pen tool, you see there, looks like a little nib, and your ellipse tool, the circle tool, down here. So those are the two main tools we're going to be using. So select pen tool with your left hand mouse button, and if you see here just below those traffic lights it says pen, and next to that you've got fill, and next to that you've got stroke. Make sure the stroke is black, and then next to it you've got a line. This one's got a red line through it. We want this to be a line, so this is setting what sort of line we want. So click it and you'll see that you've got no line, a solid line or a dotted line. You want the solid line, so click that. And then notice the width is set at 0.2 points, and that's ideal for this. You don't want it too thick. So move your pen tool across to the middle of the page, and you see as you get to the middle a green light comes up. So with the pen hovering on that, press your left button. Now we want an absolutely perpendicular line, so if you select shift while you're holding your left mouse button down, now you'll find that you can draw a perfectly perpendicular line. So pull that all the way down to the bottom and then take your left hand button off, move your pen across to that blue pot and just press it once, and that will now create that line. If you now go up to your move tool on the top left hand side, click that and then move back over your paper and just click this once. You see there is the line going down the middle of the paper. Now the next thing we want to do is create another line, this time horizontal. So go back to the pen tool, go across to the page, move it down, and you'll see that it comes up as a red line this time. Same thing, with the cursor hovering on that line, press shift and then press your left button. Then you can drag your cursor across to the right hand side where you get it towards the edge, click it once, and there you've got a line. When it comes with that red line round the end of the line, you know that that's actually clicked and made a line. Then move back up to the move tool, click that, and then click on the page and you'll find that the line is revealed. So we've got two lines absolutely at 90 degrees. The next thing is to draw a perfect circle. So go to your ellipse tool, click it, come across to your page, and with your left mouse button held down, drag around, and you see you can create a roundish shape, but we want a perfect circle. So to do this, again, hold down the shift key, and as you drag it around with the shift key held down, it's going to make a perfect circle. Now if you look down there at the bottom right hand side, you can see a little black box near the cursor, and it's giving me the exact measurement of the circle. So let's make this 130 millimeters, so 13 centimeters, 130 millimeters. Got to be a bit. There we are. 131, 139. There we are. Lift your finger, and there you've got a perfect circle. Now, this circle isn't quite yet as we want it. Go back up to your Move tool, click that, and then if you look where it says ellipse here, just above that tool, go across. This time it's got fill and it's filled. So click that, and we want this to be unfilled. So see, you've got this color tab, then it says gradient, and then you've got that little dropper. Right next to it is a white circle with a red line through it, which is empty. So click that, and now, lo and behold, the circle is clear. So now, bring your cursor back across to the circle, and we want to align this exactly on the spot where the lines intersect. So if you drag the circle with your mouse button suppressed or pressed, drag the circle onto those lines, and you see as it's on the perfect intersection, those lines highlight. So here I've got it centered on the middle line but not on the vertical line. Once I get onto the vertical line, that both lines highlight, one red, one green. Release your finger. So that now gives you a perfect circle, perfectly aligned on its center point. Now let's select all of these. So I've got the circle already highlighted. Press down your Shift key again. With your cursor over the line, select that, and with the other line, and then right click, brings up this little dialog box, and we get group it, and here we get a little grouping box in the layers panel. If you highlight that, you can name that. So I'm going to call this lines and circle, and then if you press that little arrow, it opens it up, and we can select the circle, just the circle, and we want to copy and paste this. So Command C, Command V, and there I've got a second circle. And this one I want to set on the middle line, the bottom of the circle on the middle line of the first line, and perfectly centered on that middle line. There it is. You can see those lines all highlighting themselves. Release the button, and now I'm going to do Command V again. That's pasting the circle. Drag that circle down to the bottom, so you see that's now the top of that circle is on the middle of the first circle, and it's centered on that middle line. So we've now got three circles proportionately related to each other vertically. So now I'm going to highlight those two new circles we put, right click, and I'm going to group those. I'm going to call this circle group 1, just so it's got a name, and again that will be highlighted that way. Now then, now this gets a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to paste, Command V, our circle again, and I'm going to want to get this to intersect with the middle line, okay, and where the petals begin to intersect on the first circle. So if you see, if I drag this across to here, okay, it's going to go through those petals, those circles, or in the middle here, it's going to go through those 2 points and then to that petal. So let's try that one first of all. Get it roughly in the right position, release it, and then zoom in using Command plus. And if you look, you can see here that the circle needs to go up, so it's going to go perfectly through that point which has been established by the first intersection of circles. See, that's now absolutely perfect. We go down to the bottom, perfect intersection, and the middle, perfect intersection. So that's looking okay. Zoom out. I'm going to now paste the circle again. I'm going to do the same on the other side. That's going to be a bit easier now, because you see how that red line is aligning that circle with the circle we've just put on. So that helps us get it in just the right position, so we can release that. And now we've made 3 equal patterns. Let's just zoom in and check that those have all intersected at the right place. And we've got that, so that's excellent. Sometimes that can be a bit fiddly. So I'm going to paste another circle, and we're going to do the upper petal here now. And again, because we've got those other circles already in, it's giving us perfect alignment really quite easily. So release that, paste the circle again, and final position there like that. So that's now given us the seed of life. I want to refine this though, because often I found within icon composition they make quite a lot of the half size of the circle, which is 1/4 division. So we can take our center line, double click it just to highlight that, Control, copy, paste. Got another line, just move that up, and you see we got a 1/4 line. Going to do the same thing again, copy, paste, whoops, Command, copy, paste. There we are. So now I've divided the circle into 4 equal parts, simply by using the divisions given me by the intersection of the circles. The next thing I want to do is to reproduce the vertical central line and align that with the edges of the central petal. So highlight the line, copy, paste, drag it across till it intersects with the 2 petals, zoom in to check, and can you see there's still a little gap there? So I need to move that across, just one like that, just to close the gap. Those are all lying aligned, that's nice. Paste the middle line a second time, draw it across until it just intersects with the petals like that. So now we've got some very interesting proportional divisions within this circle. And the final thing I want to do is to create the half circle and to reproduce that in centered on those 3 lines that we've just drawn on the central petal. So go back to your ellipse tool, and if you put your cursor on that top line there anywhere, press down your shift key and drag, so you're getting a perfect circle, and you see that is now clicked to between the 2 lines, which gives us exactly a half circle based on the size of the first circle. And now I'm going to drag that onto the central axis line. Now copy it, so Command, copy V, drag that circle across so that it's actually centered on the line on the side of the central petal. Paste again and drag to the other side where it's centered on the line on the left of the petal. And if we zoom out, we can see here we now have a completed seed of life. Finally, if you, using your move tool, select everything that you've drawn like that, and then right click and group all of them and call this then your seed of life. And then all you need to do to use this is open up in a new file. So open existing, got here an icon, and this is a modern icon. So here we've got an icon. I want to analyze it. What do I do? So I've opened that up. Go to your seed of life image, highlight the group, Command C to copy it, go back to the image and Command V, paste, and okay, I've got this really large seed of life. Zoom out so you can select one of the corner handles, and you can then reduce this down until it fits the size of the head that's been drawn. Now, I'm not saying that this particular modern icon was drawn using the geometric principles of the seed of life, but the seed of life gives us an insight into it, and certainly when it comes to the old icons, this can prove itself really, really useful. So good luck, and I hope that's been useful.